Okay, let's just quickly get through this. It's everyone knows this lesson, but it can be done on the GDC, and so um, I'll go through the old school definitions of it, but most of you could just once again you're going to put the data into the GDC, and then you're just going to get all the information yourself. So let's just start with mean, median, mode. It's an old topic; everyone knows it. Let's talk about the mean, also known as the average. You know it as you add up the data and then you divide by that number of data. So let's just talk about the notation. Um, this refer, sorry, so xi refers to like a specific piece of data. So if I write x1, this means like the first piece of data. And it's kind of like from series and sequences, x1, x2, x3. It doesn't say what the data is. It just says that's like the fourth piece of data. That's the fifth piece of data. So like we would say, and this implies, well, it's not implies. It doesn't imply anything. So the next thing you want to do is, first of all, you want to figure out how many pieces of data. So first of all, find out how much data there is. And that's the number n. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do, this notation, that's a Greek letter, that's sigma. And that's for summation. So when we write sigma n of n, this is add all the data. Okay, and then we know that this is when you add all the data, and when you add up n pieces of data and divide by n, you get the average. So the first thing I would recommend to you is first organize all your data. I'm sorry. Let me lower this. First thing I would recommend is first put your data in order. You know the median you're going to have to put in order. So put everything in order. So first, organize your data. And we know from the lesson you either put it in numerical order or put it in a chart, and then you just add it up and divide by the number. So for example, let's say the data is, I'll put it in order for you. Let's say we have, for example, 5, 8, 8, 11, and 15. So first thing you would do is first put it in order. Let's lower this a little bit. And the next thing I would do is first exactly how many pieces of data are there, and you're like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 pieces of data. The next thing, obviously, we're going to do is add up all the data. Let's see, 5 plus 8 is 13, 21, 32, 47. As I said before, you have a calculator and all this data is going into the graphing calculator. So to find the average, this is the notation for average, where it's 47 divided by 5, which is 9.4. Nice. Now, interesting, well, what we're going to see is the average is not one of the values. And we're going to see that with, mean, median, mode. The question is, what exactly is mean, median, mode? And it's also known as the measure of central tendency. And the idea is what value best represents my data. Now, 9.4 is not exact, but it's like in the middle, and that's the idea. What's in the middle of the data? So that's the idea of mean. Let's continue with mean, actually. we saw in the last class that we can organize the data. So I'm going to introduce something called a frequency table. And we saw that actually with a tally. So, for example, let's imagine that the data, I asked you how many times someone rioted the bus last week. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the frequency was, let's see, 8. What is it? 8, 4, 6, 2. So the first thing we want to do, the idea here is that I don't want to write out all the data. It came from like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then 4, 4. I don't want to write all this out. But let's think about this first. What's the first thing I ask you to do? First, find out how much data there is. So some kids would say, oh, there's 4 pieces of data. You say, no, Mr. Adler. This is a frequency chart, which means 8, 12, 18, 20. There's 20 pieces of information there. Next, add up the data. Well, once again, as I told you, the computer's going to be doing this for you, and there's a way to set this up. But right now, we don't have a calculator. So the question is, how do we figure out all the data? Well, you say, you know what? There's 8 pieces of 1. And there's 4 pieces of 2. And there's 6 pieces of 3. And there's 2 pieces of 4. So we have 8 plus 8 plus 18 plus 8, 24, this equals 42. So in total, 20 people rode the bus for 42 hours. Therefore, the average is 42 divided by 20. Once again, this is all on the calculator. I'm doing this by hand. So let's see, 21 divided by 10, 2.1. On average, the 20 people rode the bus for 2.1 hours. Nice. As I said before, this goes in the calculator, obviously, and the calculator will give you all this information. Let's look at a question they might ask you, or I'm going to ask you. Let's see. So the question is, you're on a sports team. So you're on a sports team. And you're on a sports team, and to stay on the team, you have to maintain an average of at least 84. On a sports team, you must maintain, an average of 84. Okay, and currently you have an 80, an 85, and a 92 on your tests. And the question is, what is the lowest grade you can get on the 4th test and still remain on the team? So what is the lowest score you can receive on test 4 and still remain on the team That's a good question, right? Well, let's think about this. So there's two approaches. There's two approaches. Let me lower the screen. There's two approaches. Let's look at the first method. Well, someone might say, okay, well, if I need an average of 84, that means, so an average of 84 means that like the four tests were 84. And that means a total of, let's see, a total of 336 points. Now we can add this up. 80 plus 85 plus 92 is equal to, let's see, 257. So 336 minus 257 equals 79. And so that's method one. So you need 79 points. But we're talking about average. Well, once again, if someone says you have an average of 84, you can assume that every single test was in 84. Therefore, an average of 84 over 4 tests is 336 points. You already have 257, therefore you only need 79 points. The more advanced approach is write an equation out. It's up to you whatever approach you want to do. So we have 70, we can say that 80, and it's basically the same method. We have 80 plus 85 plus 92 plus x over 4 equals 84. 84 times 4, let's do it over here. 84 times 4 is 336, is equal to 257 plus x. Sorry about that. So the idea is, once again, if we write it out algebraically, we add up the numbers, 80, 85, 92, and x representing the fourth square that we don't know. Divide this by 4, that should equal 84. We have 336. We multiply both sides by 4. So we have 336 equals 257 plus x. Solve for x, we have 79. So 79 is the lowest score this student can get in order to stay on the team. Okay, next. Move this over a little bit. Next, median. The next is median. I call median the organized middle. Sorry, let me close my shade. The light is coming on. The median is called the organized middle. The idea is you're going to first, so let me get a new pen, sorry. First thing you're going to do is first put the data in ascending order. Ascending order. So start from lowest and go to, so this means from lowest to biggest. And then you're literally going to find the middle piece of data. That's what the median is. It's really like the middle. So, for example, let's see, we have 1, 5, 1, 2, 8, 9, 6. Okay, here's some data. I don't know, you went out and collected it. This is the information you got. first, put it in order. Well, even before, you know what, put it in order first. Put it in order, sorry. Put it in, what are we doing for time? Good. Put it in order. So let's see, 1, 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. There's, and how many, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 pieces of data. And therefore, the easy way is start knocking off the pieces of data. High, low, high, low, high, lowest, highest. What's left over in the middle? That is the median. This is the median. Now, what you'll see in a book is if there's, so for example, this is the 4th piece of data. This is X1, this is X2, this is X3, this is X4, this is X5, this is X6, and this is X7. The question is, how do we find the median from knowing there's 7 pieces of data? Easily. So the median, take n plus 1 divided by 2, that equals, in this case, this is the median place. This is the median place, right? So in this case, 7 plus 1 divided by 2 is 4. The 4th place is the median. That's how you do it. It's very straightforward. And as I said before, you can put these numbers in your graphing calculator. It will do it for you. So this is, let's see, yeah, this is a little old school, but we don't have calculators just here. Let's try it. Now the question you might say is, well, what if there's an even number of data points? Easy. So let's say there's 8 pieces of data. So you have, and I'm going to put it in order for you, 1, 3, 8, 9, 11, 15, 20, and 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you go through the motions, like I said, you know, this, and you're looking for the median. The mean is easy. Add it up and divide. You know, there's 8, but how do we find the median? Let's see, lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest. So we have 2 pieces of data. The method is add these up and divide by 2. And therefore the median is 10. Because 9 plus 11 is 20 divided by 2 is 10. Once again, the median is not a data point. It's just a representation. So the middle of this is 10. Same thing with the average. The middle, yeah. The average was 84, but 84 wasn't a test score I got. That's not the point. Once again, it's a measure of central tendency. What's the middle? And so, question is, yeah, can you look at this? And that's the idea. You want to find out the chart. I mean, you could. Do we have a formula for it? I guess. You know, whatever. For example, how would this work out? Well, let's see, 8, let's see, plus 1 divided by 2 equals 4.5. So I guess you take the average of the x4 and x5. That's how you do it. If there was, 20 points, you do 20 plus, let's see, let n equals 8. In this case, let's let n equal 20. 20 plus 1 divided by 2. So let's see, 21 divided by 2 is 10.5. So you take the average of that's x10 and x11. Okay. It's not very difficult. And the idea is you want to find this point. So let's say we have, and the idea is maybe you have a frequency table. Let's use a frequency table of, let's take a, yeah. So let's in a frequency table. And as I said before, this is all going to get it done in the calculator. So if we have a frequency table, sorry, my notes. And let's go back to our frequency table that we had in the first example. 1 was 8, 2 was 4, 3 was 6, 4 was 2. I'm going to add another point to make your life a little easier. 5 is 1. So once again, this was the data. This was the frequency. Now, I'm not writing out 21 points. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing like, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. The question is, from the table, can I quickly get there? Well, you'd say, okay, Mr. Adler, well, there's 21 points here. There's 21 points, and I know that 21 plus 1 divided by 2, 22 divided by 2 is 11, and I can see from my chart that the first 8 points are 1, and then the next 3, 4 are 2. That means the 11th point is in here. If you're desperate, write it all out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know what? That's the 11th point. That's my median. That's my middle. And you can kind of see that. 2 is the middle. The last thing is very quick. The last topic, this video went much longer than it needs to, but the last topic that we talk about is mode. Now, the idea here, once again, so the idea with mode, or all of these, is that all of these represent the data. I don't feel like writing 20 points out. I don't want to see all that. If you told me that you collected 20 points of data, I don't want to see all of it. I want one number to represent it. So we have the average, we have the median. The last point is they call the mode. And this is the number that occurs more than the others. And the idea, it's usually, you learn as it's the highest, the most, but I'm going to change the definition a little bit. So, for example, if I give you the data 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would say, hey, Mr. Adler, the mode 1, 1 occurs the most. So this is the mode, okay? Now, I'll give you another example, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. You say, okay, Mr. Adler, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of data. Now you're looking at this, and the question is, what is the mode? Well, it turns out there's 2 modes because 1, 1 occurs twice, and 2, 2 occurs twice. So this is bimodal, and it's 1 and 2. Well, what if the data was 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6? Well, this is known as trimodal, and the mode is 1, 2, and 3. Now, why am I making a big deal about this? And the idea, which is never going to show up, I just want to make it clear, something has to pop. So, for example, I give you, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And you might say, oh, maybe it's quad modal or something like that. The idea here is there's no mode. There's no mode because nothing stands out. Because nothing stands out. That's the idea, is that what is greater than the others? In mode, it's like they're competing with each other. What pops? What do you see over something else? And that's the idea here. I see 1s before I see 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here, I see 1 and 2 before I see 3, 4, 5. Over here, I see 1, 2, 3 before I see 4, 5, 6. But the problem here is that they're all equal. They're all equal. Now, and if you look at your chart, if you made like a bar chart, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you shoot what stands out. You go, well, nothing stands out, therefore there's no mode. Something has to be bigger than the others. If not, there's no mode. Good luck with the homework.